General Boyd, ladies and gentlemen, friends, thank you all for being here. It means a lot that you could join us today. I know it's a little warm here, so we'll do one quick exercise. Everyone just, if you can, stand up and shake it out a little bit. That's how you take care of soldiers, you see, because I know they've been sitting there for some time. All right, you can sit down. You can get on your feet. Anyone that knows me that perhaps have seen me speak, I can speak for hours. So in the interest of the temperature, things of that nature, and there's some cake up there, I'm going to stick to my prescribed remarks. That way we can stay on time, all right? Does that sound like a good plan? All right. Hey, General Boyd, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Buenos dias. Dzień dobry. Assalamu alaikum. Wait a minute. I just realized that if I have to translate this into all those languages, it's going to be a long day. But these are languages of people that I have served with in the last 34 years. So, no, I won't do that. What I will do, but it's natural, as a career linguist and intelligence officer, just translating things into a foreign language just comes naturally. So, I've got to stick to the script, is what I was told. Anyhow, it's great to be back in Illinois after 7 years, serving around the globe. My family, Andrea, missing everybody here. Really, it's nice to be here with friends and family after all the separation, countless time zones, and faraway places. But I will say one thing. I was a little concerned when we got here a few weeks ago when I went to my favorite Chicago Chicago-style hot dog place in Bellwood, which is where the General's from. And I said, let me get a Chicago dog, and phenomenal, great hot dog, Chicago style, if you know what I'm talking about. Customer walks in and says, hey, let me get 2 dogs. And he says, hold the mustard, put ketchup. Well, you know what that is. That's like a sin in Chicago. And I was grinding my teeth, eating my hot dog, and then I told my wife, I said, can you just hear? I told her what happened. And I said to the gentleman, what's with that? Are you from Chicago? He said, yeah, just that mustard doesn't sit well. I said, all right, I guess it's a free country. But, all good, but it is nice to be back. I'd like to acknowledge a few friends that have come from various parts of the world, including Rado Jazda from Poland. Thank you very much. From the Polish Territorial Defense Force. Mr. Cody Scott, our liaison officer from the Illinois Guard, that's also stationed in Poland. Thank you, gentlemen. It means a lot that you're here. Please, I did hear that the recent engagement with the Illinois National Guard team in Poland went very well, so please, thank General Stanczyk for me on our behalf. Also from Poland, I'm humbled by the presence of Mr. Grzegorz Pinkowski, or Greg, let's just keep it simple, all right? President of the board of the Poznan Airport, and then Maciej Kloskowski from the U.S. Army Garrison in Poland. They flew in last night. Let me tell you something about these gentlemen. They played a pivotal role during the situation when Russia invaded Ukraine in supporting our senior leaders, our troops, our equipment, everything that was coming into Poland. This was some tough times, and when I was there as a garrison commander. Greg has a picture of, in his office, about a C-17, a U.S. Air Force C-17, when it landed there in Poznan, and the people in the terminal are just glued to the windows watching this humongous aircraft in the field. But Greg, I really enjoy that picture up there. But thanks again. I know you guys are jet lagged, just got in last night. Major General Cervonia, Major General Jackson, and my state police teammates. Got retired Colonel, I don't think Danny Vega made it here, but I've got Eddie Reyes and Chris Gonzalez. Thank you both for being here. You guys have been mentors for me. Thanks for your mentorship, your friendship, both in the state police and the National Guard. And then Brigadier General Williams, Lenny, where you at? There he is. Hey, I'm just thrilled to be able to call you Lenny again and not have to violate any kind of protocol. That's what I meant earlier. You got to stick to protocol these days. Just because you're on the promotion track or whatever, there's still some respect. So it's really nice to be able to just get my dear friend, State Lenny. So General Boyd, again, sir, thank you so much for your trust and confidence that, believing in my potential. I'm truly honored by the opportunity, and I will dedicate myself fully in fulfilling my responsibilities. I look forward to contributing under your leadership and upholding the standards that you inspire. Friends, it's hard to put into words, what it means to stand here, now promoted to the rank of Brigadier General. I feel deeply honored, incredibly grateful, and profoundly humbled. My journey at this moment began a long time ago, not just in years, but in miles and in purpose. Along with half of my brothers and sisters, I was born in Mexico and came to the United States when I was 6 years old. My father, Fidel, who's here in spirit, was a seasonal migrant worker under the Bracero program during the 1960s. That was a post-World War II agricultural labor program that would bring people from different countries, primarily Mexico. You know, he worked picking strawberries out of the fields of Watsonville, California. And so every time I see strawberries at the grocery store, I check and see if they're from Watsonville, and they are. For special strawberries. You know, being the third oldest of 9, and from a young age, I understood what it meant to do hard work, to shoulder responsibility, and to value family. So when I came to Chicago in 1976, I remember both of our parents waking up early in the hours of 3 a.m. along with the neighbors of the Flores family who lived right next door to us, and going to work, to a tortilla factory, to the Pillsbury plant that you guys worked there. Those early lessons, learned in a small home full of love, noise, and sacrifice has stayed with me ever since, and every step of the way. While in grammar school, my brother Fidel, Alex, and I, we worked at a local restaurant, making money for ourselves. We saw firsthand that the paycheck that Mom and Dad were bringing was not enough for us, so working at such a young age made us grow up quickly. And I'm not sure if he's here today, but if Mr. Walters is here, he's my 8th grade teacher. There he is. That's the reason sometimes I didn't complete some of the homework assignments. But you know what? You taught me accountability. Write things down 20 or 30 times on my notebook saying that I would do my homework the next day. I remember that. So from you, I learned that responsibility lesson that's helped shape me today. Thank you for being here. It means a lot. Now, I get a little emotional, but these are stories that are hard to just say without feeling it because you've lived through it. But you know what? I didn't come from a long line of military tradition. I will say, though, that on my mother's side, the Madrigal family, we do have a descendant, Brigadier General Ramon Corona Madrigal, who served as the chief of the Western Army in Mexico in 1866. He was a diplomat, governor in the state of Jalisco, where I was born. What I did have was a deep sense of gratitude to this country and a strong desire to serve. While at Northern Illinois University, which General Boyd is also a graduate of, I joined the Reserve Officer Training Corps, or ROTC. And most of you know, the first couple of years of taking 100, 200 level courses, anyone can join, but once you get to that junior year level, you really have to sign a contract with that you're likely going to commission. Well, when I was signing up for the 300 level courses, I was told I could not join because I was told I was not a U.S. citizen. And as you know, the primary requirement to become a military officer is to be a U.S. citizen. So what did I do? Since that didn't work, I went straight to the recruiting office in DeKalb, and in May of 1991, I enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserves. That decision changed the course of my life. I also immediately helped fill out forms, and 400 forms, which I know that my friend Alfredo over there knows very well what they are, for citizenship to my family. And really, upon becoming a citizen 3 or 4 years later, in 1995, I applied to the Officer Candidate School at the Illinois Military Academy. 15 months later, I earned that commission as a second lieutenant, and I've been honored to wear that uniform and serve alongside some of the most dedicated men and women in the world ever since. So I'd like to acknowledge my sister Laura, who also served as an enlisted soldier of the 82nd Airborne and later became an officer and retired after 20 years of service, logging several overseas missions and deployments. Also my nephew, U.S. Air Force, Christopher Rodriguez, Staff Sergeant, who completed 10 years of active duty in the Air Force and currently in college working to return as an officer. Great move, my friend. My cousin Raul Basuto was here, served in the Marines, and as are many other friends and family that I just learned in the last few days that are also in the military. So thank you so much, and also Sam Jr. with the Chicago Police Department. I'm going to get you back in the Illinois Guard after that first enlistment. We're going to see if we can re-enlist you. Sir, we got a candidate there. All of you have a reason for joining, but even if my example played a small part in your decision, I'm truly humbled and proud of them, and even more humbled to share this commitment with the family. This promotion is not mine alone. It belongs to my family, who stood by me through every move, every deployment, and every missed holiday. It belongs to the mentors and leaders who took time to guide me, challenge me, and believe in my potential. And it belongs to the soldiers that I've had the privilege to lead, and the trust and dedication that have shaped me into the officer I am today. Mom, thank you for your sacrifice and supporting me all my life. Mamá, gracias por su sacrificio y el apoyo que me ha brindado toda la vida. My wife, Andrea, thank you for your love, unwavering support, your strength, and your constant belief in me. My daughter, Sophia, Adriana, and I know Angelica couldn't be here today. Thank you, and I'm sorry I've missed many holidays, special events over the years. I love you guys. To my brothers and sisters, Lucy, Iden, Alejandro, I was told that he couldn't go by Alex today, I don't know why. Laura, Alicia, Ricardo, Roberto, Miguel, and Sam. Yeah, we're a large family, typical Mexican Catholic family. You all have filled in during my absence over the years, and I truly thank you for that. I know I can always count on you. To all my extended family that's here and on live stream, from Mexico, from Boston, California, Wisconsin, and many other places, especially to the Favela, to the Gallardo family, to the Schweiner family. And to my former Afghan translators, several of them here today, thank you for your sacrifice in helping the U.S. military achieve its mission in Afghanistan. And finally, to my intelligence community friends, you know who you are, I don't have to point you out. Keep up the great work from behind the scenes. Now, in closing, every chapter of my life and my military career, whether it's the state police or the National Guard, it's been about people. As a dear friend of mine puts it, being a good human. Leadership to me has always been about helping others, lifting others up, building teams that care about each other, and getting the job done with purpose and integrity and humility. As I take on this role, I carry that same mindset forward. I know where I came from. I remember being that 6-year-old boy arriving in a new country with big hopes and uncertain steps. And I know how much this country has given me, the opportunity to serve, to grow, to lead, and I don't take that lightly. To all of you who have been part of my journey, thank you. I promise to continue serving with the same heart, humility, and commitment that brought me here. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for this incredible honor.